Welcome up to Acc Wednesday 29 September 2021. We're looking from the papers. First up, New York Times picture General Mark Milley. Yesterday at the Senate hearings on Afghanistan, the heads of the military said they told Biden to stay in Afghanistan a bit longer. Over on the left, shots. Down here, Evergrande crisis. Down here again, COVID misinformation, true crime. USA Today, Mark Milley at the Congress again. Story here about rising murder rates, particularly focusing in on children who died in the last year from gun deaths. Down here, black farmers accuse the US Department of Agriculture of racism. Pretty crazy statistic here. Only 1.4% of farmers in the US are black, but in 1920 that number was 14%. New York Post, Live and Let Die, sexual predator James Bond out on the red carpet. Biden's Afghan lies, that's talking about the Senate hearings. Wall Street Journal, there's Elizabeth Warren talking to Jerome Powell, chairman of the Fed. She's opposing his second term because he wants to loosen financial regulations. Over on the right, debt ceiling increase. Let's talk about the Yanks might default on their debt soon. We've been down this road many times before, probably won't happen. Stocks line go down. National Post from Canada, here's this lad Michael Kovrig who just got released from China. He was being held arbitrarily, but they released Meng Wanzhou in Canada from house arrest. He was chief financial officer of Huawei, and now they let this guy and another guy called Michael go back to Canada, so best of luck to him. Grandma from Cuba, quote from Fidel down the bottom, every man and woman in his neighbourhood is a defender of the revolution. Yes, thank you Fidel. Star of South Africa, story there about an ANC councillor who got shot 20 times, political violence, underneath that true crime. Global Times from China, some J-20 fighters out and about, some kind of air show coming up. Down here, Zhoukang, key to national rejuvenation. This is talking about the new focus of China, which is that of common prosperity, and Zhoukang I guess is the buzzword which sums up the spirit of how they're going to do it. Jerusalem Post, there's Naftali Bennett at the head of the New World Order giving a speech. Hating Israel doesn't make you woke. Okay, we can stop Tehran getting nukes, yada yada, same stuff. Hamas won't hesitate to start another war. Okay, standard stuff. The Australian prize of being the Prime Minister, Turnbull moved millions to skip scrutiny. So Turnbull used to be Prime Minister of Australia, some kind of a spat going on. It was in the papers yesterday as well. Him and his ex-financial partner had a kind of a falling out, and one of them lost out on millions and millions of dollars and is suing the other now for millions and millions of dollars. Tehran Times, unconstructive approach may result in failure. The Vienna talks. Okay, down here, the terrorist plans to run for president. Let's talk about Donald Trump, particularly focusing in on how it came out that the Trump administration had planned to assassinate Julian Assange and had drawn up plans to kidnap him, and Mike Pompeo had also designated WikiLeaks a non-state hostile intelligence service, which meant they could be targeted like other hostile intelligence services. The Hindu crisis in Punjab province, the Congress there, the president of the Congress has resigned. Irish Examiner, there's sexual predator James Bond out on the red carpet. True crime stories underneath. Irish Times, story about some women in the army who are calling for an investigation into sexual assault and harassment. Something about tax, budgets, coal and oil power plants to stay open. That's the looming energy crisis this winter. Irish Independent, Airgrid warns of major electricity outages over the next 5 winters. James Bond, sexual predator out in the red carpet. Irish Daily Mail, diabetes tax cut, sexual predator James Bond. Irish Sun, football, true crime, sexual predator James Bond. Something about true crime down the bottom. Herald, health, football, true crime. Belfast Telegraph, there's Kate chatting to sexual predator James Bond. She's of course related to an alleged sexual predator, Prince Andrew. Still want of questioning regarding his relationship to paedophile billionaire financier Jeffrey Epstein, RIP. Scotsman, there they are again. One sexual predator talking to the relative of another sexual predator, allegedly. Vaccine passports. Financial Times, US might default in its debt. Sterling dragged down as petrol panic stokes fears over looming stagflation. Okay, so stagflation, when you have a decline in growth and a rise in inflation. Stagflation was of course what led to the neoliberal reforms of the Thatcher and Reagan administrations in the 1980s. So let's see what happens now in 2021. The Guardian, something about Labour, sexual predator James Bond on the red carpet, fear for supply chains at Christmas. Independent, 4 stories on the top. Labour, Germany, winter energy crisis. Sexual predator James Bond on the red carpet, fuel crisis. The Times, Labour, there's Kate out and about, disruption at the pumps, that's the petrol crisis. Daily Torygraph, there's Kate and William out on the red carpet to celebrate the sexual predator James Bond. Daily Express, sexual predator James Bond out on the red carpet, we'll save Christmas, yeah right. Daily Mail, sexual predator James Bond out on the red carpet, battle to save Christmas. Daily Mirror, sexual predator James Bond out on the red carpet, some true crime celeb story. Labour, Metro, sexual predator James Bond out on the red carpet, story there about lads fighting over petrol. Daily Star, they think it's brawl over, that's the people fighting over petrol again, and down there sexual predator James Bond. Well, there you have it. Julian Assange is still in jail in Belmarsh Maximum Security Prison without fair trial or due process. It did come out in the news that the Trump administration wanted to assassinate Julian Assange in the middle of London and possibly kidnap him and illegally extradite him to America. But this was not on the front of any paper today except for this one, the Tehran Times. Really makes you think. If you want to stay off corporate or state media for the day, just click the link in the description. Alright, thanks, good luck.